Hey guys, so I have this container that I just picked up. I picked this up at our local statuary and I'm in love with this container. The local guy that does it, he makes really unique containers that you're not going to just find anywhere, and he makes them for really cheap. They're not always perfect, but they're still worth it to have in the garden. All of our pieces that are cement or concrete that are in our garden, our front containers, our lion fountain, our bird bath, and a few other things are all from his place at killer prices. This was $25 and I absolutely love it. I fell in love the second that I saw it. I mean, it has some imperfections. You can still see the seams on it, and it has a couple little chips out of it. Still worth it in my book, but I don't love the color of this. So I went to our Home Depot and I bought the Bare Premium Stain and Poly that is water-based. The color that I chose is lime grass, and I think that it's going to be perfect for in this container. This is what the container looks like. This is all of the information that was on top of it. And I want to say that this was like $9 or something like that, $7 at Home Depot. And it's clear, and you go and they have a little pamphlet and you can choose whatever color you want. And this will work on concrete. So all I'm going to do is I'm going in, I'm opening it up. You guys can see that beautiful color that it is. All I'm using for this project is my stain, a wet cloth, and a paintbrush. Super simple. All I'm gonna really do is I'm just gonna go into all over this, really get into the crevices, and then I'm gonna come through with my damp cloth and wipe some of that off. I want some of it to really sink in, to really start showing all of the texture, and then I want some of this to come off to show more of the concrete. I'm just gonna go over and cover this entire thing. What's nice is that this is water-based, so if it gets on stuff, it's not going to make a huge mess. Like this rag, I'm gonna just rinse it out and I'll throw it in the wash. But the way that this really just pops and really brings the detail out in this concrete is super exciting. So you can actually now see the face on this little cherub here. Love that. So I'm gonna just kind of speed this process up, and that's all you're doing is just using a water-based stain, slathering it on there, getting in there like crazy, and all the little cracks and crevices, because those are the part that you want to stay dark. And that'll really make everything stand out. So it looks really scary when you're painting it on. It looks like army green almost. And you're like, oh my gosh, what have I done? But then going back and removing it really just shows how this is going to stand out. Love this so much. Yeah, so you can see it went from not really being able to see it to really making it stand out. And I love this green color. It looks like moss was growing on it. You can really see how these faces and everything, all the detail of the fruit and the baskets really pops compared to this. I absolutely love natural concrete. it really is one of my favorites. I wouldn't mind having only natural concrete in our garden, but for something that is as detailed as this is, I really want it to stand out. After I'm finished with this, I'm gonna let it dry before I do anything else. Before I plant anything, I really want to make sure that this cures all the way. So before I finish, it's really important that you also go down a couple inches on the inside of this container. Because if your soil, as your soil line sinks, you don't want to see the green and then natural concrete. It just would look unfinished. So that is another important step, is to take it down a couple of inches on the inside of the container. I absolutely love the way that this Bare Premium Stain and Poly worked with this, and there's so much left in here. I could turn everything in my garden green. This is crazy. So next step will be just planting all of the plants that I'm going to get in here. I've got a hellebore that's going to go in the center, and then I'm going to surround the entire container with some violas that I have that are white. I think that the white with the hellebore and the green in here is just going to be striking. I love how this turned out. Yeah, so now I'm going to wait till tomorrow afternoon to plant this guy up so it actually has a time to dry. So this is now dried. It's been 2 days actually. And now it is time to get this container all planted up. So I'm going to first just go in with a little bit of soil. This is the Fox Farms Ocean Forest. And then I have an array of plants. I'm probably going to use all of them. A few ranunculus, and I just picked these up from Home Depot. I have a flat of violas, and then I have a few creeping Jenny. So while I was at the store, I definitely thought this container was much larger, and I bought 3 of the ranunculus that are all white, thinking I could fit all 3 of these and 3 of the creeping Jenny and half the flat. I think that I'm only going to be able to fit 1. Before I start planting, I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Espoma Biotone, mix this in here to really help these guys get some good root growth. So first, roots look super healthy on this guy. I'm going to take off this top little bit of soil though, just because it does have some moss growing on it, and I don't really want to introduce anything into this container. So pop this guy up like this, move this guy over. Oh yeah, that's better. Perfect. Then I'm gonna go in with 3 of these creeping Jennies. And I love creeping Jenny. And then last one over on this side here. Then we're just going to go through with a bunch of these violas. I love this container. I love the green, how this turned out. I love the ranunculus. I love the creeping Jenny, the bright. This thing is just screaming of springtime. This is now going to go on our outdoor dining table, so we have something to look at and enjoy. Thanks for visiting our garden, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.